Speaker, I'm pleased to yield 5 minutes to the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. McCormick.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is one of my favorite debates. It's in my short time in Congress and even in observing Congress where you have people from both sides of the aisle actually taking opposition to each other so we can have a real conversation. People that I respect on my side of the aisle and people that both I respect and disagree with on the other side of the aisle, having a real debate that has little to do with partisanship, but really about principle. It's refreshing. I thought, much like H.R. 21, which was probably the most fascinating vote we've taken to the date since I've been in Congress, where you actually had somebody, a Republican, somebody whose credentials as a conservative are not questioned at all, had more people from the Democrat Party vote for his bill than the Republican Party. He had the squad vote for him and his bill. That's bipartisanship in a certain way. And yet we have this debate right now in a similar fashion on Somalia. And this is not a place that's unknown to me. I was there during part of the UN withdrawal in '94 off the coast on the 15 Marine Expeditionary Unit. I spent time in Entebbe, Uganda as part of Operation Restore Hope when we had our problem with Rwanda. Africa is a place of many troubled nations, no doubt about it. The question we have today is, what's good for America? This isn't about nation building. This is about protecting our nation. This is a debate over whether we're going to save lives or lose lives that are American by what our actions are in the near future and into the future of how we plan our force structure and what we deploy with around the world. I'm very much concerned that if we're not in these regions, especially in Somalia, which is one of the most war-torn areas we know of, that we'll have an increase in terrorist activities. When you see a country like Afghanistan and the way it's deteriorated, now you have 27 terrorist cells training there because of a lack of presence of good guys trying to make sure that bad guys don't propagate and proliferate and make sure that they're recruiting people and sending people over here to do harm to us. It's a minor miracle that we haven't had another 9/11 in so long. If you think about it, the incredible work that we've had done by our intel community and our special forces and other Americans around the world to circumvent that from happening is nothing short of Herculean. And I would make the case that because we have forces all around the world, we have been a safer place. We have saved American lives. And this isn't about building a nation of 17 million people. This is about protecting a nation of 330 million people. I want to make sure that we're clear in this argument, that this is not about seeking war. Anybody who spent time in the military, and I spent over 20 years in the military myself. I spent years away from my family as well. I've served with 3 different forces, the Marine Corps, Army, and Navy. Nobody wants war less than I do. Nobody wants to see Americans killed more than any military commander. And as a matter of fact, when we send these people, it's not because a politician wants to go over there. Usually it's because a general or an area commander has requested these troops in collaboration with each other, and we're talking about decades of experience in the region, and they understand what's at stake. They don't want war. They don't want American troops to lose their lives. As a matter of fact, they are judged historically on how many American lives they save, on how many American troops that they don't put in harm's way. This isn't about seeking war. This is about avoiding war. This isn't about protecting their nation. It's protecting our nation. We have an obligation to watch over this great nation of ours. I think it's not by pulling back, but engaging other countries in a way that we can work together to protect American lives, both civilian and military. And with that, I yield.
Gentlemen,